Here's another quick tutorial of the game Cthulhu Dice. This game is really simple. It's only like a 5-minute game that's a good filler when you're waiting for other things to happen or when you're trying to entertain the neighbor's kids or something, whatever it is. Inside the bag is pretty simple. You're just going to find one 12-sided die, a whole bunch of little green pegs, little chits to keep track of your sanity, and the instruction book. So instructions aren't very intricate. That's it. That's all there is to it. But it's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and go through it anyway. And I'm going to give you a little demo with my good friends Nargle, Scrunch, and this other guy. So everybody starts with 3 of these, and this is basically your sanity. You're all different cultists. Take whatever you have left over, just put it out of the game. You're all different cultists trying to do the best bidding for Cthulhu or whatever, and you're trying to remain sane. This keeps track of your sanity. As you play the game, you're going to be losing this. The last person to have one of these at the end of their turn is the winner. The end of their turn is important because on your turn, you're simply going to pick another person. That person's going to be the victim. You're going to be the caster. That person's going to be the victim. Say I pick on the other guy over here. I'm going to roll this die, and whatever comes up dictates what action is going to happen. Then that person has to respond. They get to roll back at me. That's my entire turn. So at the end of that, then it will pass clockwise, and it'll be the other guy's turn. The other guy will get to pick somebody. Maybe he picks on Scrunch over here. And that person, Scrunch, would then have to retaliate, roll in reaction to that. And that would be the end of the other guy's turn. And it keeps going around like this. So eventually, as you play this game, you're going to be losing sanity. When you lose it, it's not out of the game. It goes to Cthulhu, into Cthulhu's happy place right here. This also is a little mock-up that I made. This is not included in the game. You'll have to make this yourself and take like the 15 seconds that I took to make that. So when you lose sanity, it's going to go into the middle. When you gain sanity on a specific roll, which lets you gain one, not take one from another player, you're going to be gaining that from the center. But most of the time, you're going to be kind of stealing it from each other or making each other discard. So let's go over what actually happens on this die. One of the sides has a best and foremost Cthulhu Emblem. Now, this one is the very best of all, because when you roll this, no matter who rolls it, everyone has to lose a sanity into Cthulhu, into the middle. So that's the best. And if you really are a crazy person, that's the one you're rooting for most of the time. There are yellow signs that look like this. When you roll a yellow sign, whoever your target is going to lose a sanity. Now, you also have the tentacle. Tentacles. When you roll a tentacle, the victim has to give one to the caster. This is where it gets a little bit interesting, because when we talked about how you're the caster and the other person is the victim. Say I'm picking on Scrunch over here. Now for the first part, it's my turn. I decide to target Scrunch. I'm the caster, he's the victim for the entire turn. So if I start out rolling a tentacle, then the caster takes one from the victim. Ding. Then he has to roll in response to me. If he rolls a tentacle as well, again, the caster takes one from the victim. I'll end up taking another one from Scrunch. That's because caster and victim does not change, though the target does change. If we had started off and I'd rolled a yellow sign where the target has to lose one, Scrunch has to lose one, then when he rolls in response, if he rolls a yellow sign, I'm his target. Even though I'm the caster and he's the victim still, I am his target. If he rolls a yellow when he's responding to me, I've got to lose one. That's the only really interesting thing about the game that you have to make a differentiation for. The only other 2 things that are on here, there is an elder sign, where when you roll the elder sign, you get to take one from the middle. Sweet. If there's nothing in the middle, then you don't get to take anything. Sorry. Cthulhu is like that. And finally, there's the Eye of Ra. This is the wild one. You can choose to make it whatever you want, which might change depending on what the circumstances, whether you're currently the victim or whether you're the caster or whatever. You can always pretty much go safe by going for the elder sign because you're going to get to gain one. But some people might go crazy and they just always go for Cthulhu when they get a chance. Like my niece, she loves to do that and make everybody go insane. So as you play this game, eventually some people are going to run out of sanity. When you're out of sanity, you're still in the game. You're just an insane cultist who's on the side of Cthulhu. No one can target an insane person. When it's their turn, you have to go after somebody with sanity. But when it comes down to the insane person's turn, they can target whoever they want except another insane person, because that's just being silly. However, when the insane person targets someone and rolls things like the tentacle, where you get to steal one from that person, you're not stealing it. It's actually going to Cthulhu now. The only way you can gain sanity when you're insane is by rolling the elder sign. That's the only way to get yourself back into the game. Everything else, it's all going into the middle. The game will continue this way. People will lose sanity and possibly gain sanity as others lose sanity and end up going insane. You'll probably end up with a situation where you have one person whose turn it is and there's only one person that they can target. Now, once they target that person, they do a roll, they might end up taking all of that person's sanity. But don't forget, it's not over until the very end of the turn, which includes that person's response. They're still going to respond. The other guy is going back after Scronch and ends up rolling a yellow sign, so Scronch would have to lose one. Then it would be the end of Scronch's turn. At this point, since he's the only one, he or she, maybe that's a she, I'm not sure. At this point, since they're the only one that has sanity left, Scronch wins the game. Yay, go Scronch. And in the other possibility, where you do have someone going after one other person, you might end up rolling a yellow sign, that person's got to lose one, and that one rolls in response and gets a yellow sign. That person has to lose one as well. In this situation, it's the end of one person's turn, complete turn. No one has any sanity, no one wins. That's it. This is a fun one when Cthulhu comes around at the very end and makes several people die out all at the same time. So that's it. Play, enjoy, have fun. There's even a version that has a glow-in-the-dark die if you want to be like totally crazy and play in the dark for some reason. Most importantly, make sure you create fictional characters to help you play. That's a surefire way for others to think that you are sane. Oh.